My company wants me to sign a year-long contract or I have to pay $10,000. I've started working at a new company. During the interview, they said they'll be giving me training on the products that are supposedly worth $10,000 and that they want to employ me for a year-long period. And if I resign earlier, I'll be liable to pay the $10,000 back. I signed a probation contract that mentioned nothing of the sort, but I'll have to sign my permanent contract on Monday. Honestly, this feels sketchy as the training I got was regarding skincare products and natural supplements with no formal certificate that I was trained on the matter. I might get a new job opportunity in the near future, and I don't know how to handle all this. It feels like my rights are being violated. Any advice from me moving forward would be greatly appreciated. So this is just from the R jobs subreddit. It's not necessarily engineering, but I thought it was a good example to talk about on the podcast. If you don't like the contract, don't sign it. If you think it's sketchy, trust your gut. And here's what I'd say. If the compensation is not enough to really keep you there for the full year, consider that $10,000 gone. Because if it's not a good enough offer that you want to be there for the next year, and also, I mean, we don't even know what the terms are. Maybe if they terminate you, then you have to pay the $10,000. We don't even know that, but maybe they'll do that and they'll try to claw you back for the $10,000 later. If you're sketched out by it, then don't go with it. Now, I've heard of contracts where maybe somebody's on an assignment for a year and they get per diem, and if they don't stay for the full assignment, then they have to pay back portions of their per diem. That's pretty typical, and that's something I've seen in the engineering industry. Would I sign on to that? Not unless I really felt good about the company and I felt, well, as long as the only reason why I'd lose it is if I personally left, then, and there were outs like, family emergency or whatever. As long as I felt comfortable with the terms and felt like I was in control of my own destiny, then I would consider signing on to something like that. But if you're not making that much money and it's in this person's situation for skincare products sales and there's no certification, you don't see any value in the training, and then they want to make you pay $10,000 if you leave, I would just say cut my losses. I'm not signing this stupid contract. I'm not going to be bound to you for the next year, and I'm going to work for a company that's not going to try to nickel and dime me over the cost of training me in the future. So if you feel weird about the contract, don't sign it and don't work for them. That's just how I'd take employment contracts in general. Luke says definitely be careful and read all contracts. If they offer you a signing bonus, see if it requires you to pay it back after a certain amount of time. Also be mindful of non-competes. Yeah, if you see a non-compete that says you can't work in the same industry, maybe that's some. Now there are certain people that will say, oh, some of these things are not really enforceable, and I mean, some companies, even if they are enforceable, won't really chase you on them. But if you're being asked to sign a contract, treat it like it's actually a contract and read those clauses and say, can I really actually deal with this? Is this allowing me the control and is this putting me in a situation where I could jeopardize my future? And if it is, then listen to your heart and don't sign the contract and find somewhere else to work. A little bit of money here now is obviously really important, and I understand why you need a job, but definitely don't get that job that locks up your ability to earn in the future.
Chasing payments, still playing in the basement while I'm working on arrangements. They heard the kid in 50 countries, thank God that's amazing. But I'd rather thank Spotify, they put me on the station.